Some people, as much as they're happy for you, they want you to do well or to get married. Like, okay, I want you to get married, but then after me.
Asking people, or you see people who've done a coach wedding. So when is the actual church wedding?
Yeah, like,
you see people.
I remember like our first week together, we didn't even have sex. Yeah. We didn't. Like,
I think I was stressed because I didn't have the lobola money at the time.
It makes no sense to just be friends with a man or a woman or person of the opposite sex, but just being friends in jail. D-lap, guys. When they get married, stop asking people when they're having kids. It does not concern you. What thinking? Honestly, think. I wake up in the morning, I'm like, hey, let me care about what this person is thinking. Like, and like, it took me so long to actually accept, like, my marriage is healthy. You don't just start saying, ha, wasimpa, ha, you're so big. You don't say. Sometimes one family needs the money more than the other. Like financial infidelity is a thing. Like, hi guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel.
To what?
To our YouTube channel.
I thought it was your YouTube channel.
Well, I mean, you're here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Nyasha. If you're just joining us for the first time, thank you so much for clicking. Like I said, my name is Nyasha or Tandi, and this is my husband.
Yeah, I'm Nyasha Tandi's husband.
Yeah, he's my husband.
Call me Tandi's husband.
Okay, yeah, we got it. So, we have a podcast called The Friends on Podcast, which we haven't recorded in a long time, and people have been asking, what are you guys thinking? Are you guys gonna come back?
So this is like a soft reboot of The Friend.
Yeah, like an alpha launch again. A soft launch.
But in a way, it's a conversation between two friends, married, you know, and it's a reflection on the 1 year that we've been together.
We've been together since, well, we
12th.
got married on the 12th of April,
Yeah.
2023. So this is like a recap of what we've been through during this past 1 year, the lessons we've learned. So whether you're married or you're single or you're dating, whatever it is, I just hope you take something away from this video. Hopefully it's not going to be too long. We're excited to just, hopefully.
But just something to, you know, clear. This is not a how-to video. This is not us gloating about what we've managed to do or trying to give you a formula or what not to do and all that stuff.
And it's not a video to like give you expectations of what to expect in your first year of marriage. It's just us sharing our experiences and hoping that, you know, if you're married, you also give like your own input so that other people who might not be married yet get to learn from this video from us and you as well.
It's really our hope that this, you know, conversation strikes a rapport with people who are in a similar situation. In every walk, in every season of your life, anyone who's looking to get married, everyone who's been married, if you're separated, widowed. You know, I
think we'd also learn quite a lot from you if you're separated or divorced or widowed. Like, just tell us, just give your input into the conversation so that everyone learns from your experience as well so far. Whether you've been married for 10 years, 35 years, would be amazing to have you tell us how many years you've been married for. And I think, And also, I think this is just one thing you mentioned earlier on why you wanted to do this was because, well, one day we're going to have children and then they're going to grow up. And then, you know,
this is going to be like a reflection point. This is where we were
1 year after getting married.
1 year into it.
Yeah.
I think the conversation starts off with, you know, where were you 1 year ago? You know, this was before it happened. I think I was stressed because I didn't have the lobola money at the time. Like, the money wasn't in my hands, it was out there. So, and at that time, your uncles flew in and money can't get. So I'm now just thinking to myself, did I just have all these people come down here for a no-show, you know? So I was very much on edge, and it was Easter, and I was just really on autopilot. So that's where I was. But at the same time, I had no clue whatsoever how life was going to turn out from that point. We had a different picture of how things were going to go.
Yes. I think for me it's the same thing because we got customarily married on the 12th of April 2023, and in the lead up to that we were thinking, okay, we're going to have a customary wedding, and then after the customary wedding we'll go ahead and have the church wedding in August during the summer, so that every other family member who wanted to attend could attend. So we thought, okay, that's a great plan we have. At least if we plan things ahead, we're gonna have family, you know, giving in the input and, you know, just helping here and there. So we were excited. I was very excited.
We were.
And I don't know, like,
we just had no clue.
What, yeah, exactly.
You know?
And I think this is a different video altogether, which I think will make another day. It's a different video altogether. But the way I moved in with my husband was not a way I had planned. It's not what I had planned. I literally like just moved in with him.
Baby Jesus.
Yeah, like I baby Jesus.
You know how baby Jesus just went to Egypt soon after he was born?
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
So it
was just
G&J, like suddenly I'm in my husband's house, and it was very hard to adjust. Because
just imagine, you just left all your life savings in this
yeah,
house.
exactly. And like I literally left with like 2 pairs of clothes, thinking, okay, I'm gonna be back like 2 days from now, and then I never went back. So that was very hard emotionally. It was quite a leap for both of us.
Yeah.
Permission to speak about our first night together. Yeah, sure. Our first week together. You know, obviously you're like, yeah, you're married, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I'm finally gonna have a night to myself. It actually wasn't like that for us. Our first week was so painful, so hard.
First month.
Oh, first month, yeah. I think this is a video altogether. Again, guys, podcast alert, it's gonna come in there. You can watch it when it comes out and listen to it. But I remember like our first week together, we didn't even have sex.
Yeah.
We didn't. Like, we were just so frustrated with everything that was going on. We didn't even have the urge to like,
or the mental space.
The mental space to even like consummate the marriage. We didn't have it.
Yeah.
We didn't. Yeah. We went through so much. So I think just obviously you hearing that gives you like this idea, like, huh, you're wondering what happened. But long story short, it was sort of like a baptism by fire thing.
Yeah.
And so,
right in the deep end.
Yeah, we didn't like get time to ease into the whole married life and stuff. And I remember when we started posting pictures about it, we had kind of calmed down, but people were like, oh my gosh, how's married life? I'm thinking, you're like, answer. You won't want to get married. But it was very hard. So I think that's just where I was. And
there was also a lot of adjusting to do. You know, you don't imagine, you know, the very next day you're gonna
have her move into
with your wife. You think it's gonna take a couple of
months,
you know?
Yeah.
And then the very next day
she's there.
So there was quite a lot of adjusting because the space that I was in, you know.
Both of us. I think also like I just appreciate the support we got from family.
Yeah.
We just received so much support from our family, and yeah. So I think that was my mental headspace when we got married, and I think my mental headspace has kind of changed as we've gone along in our journey together.
Yeah. And I think I would say it evolves. You know, you adapt to whatever you're going through.
Yeah.
But it was quite a lot of navigating. Us getting married also came with some rather unpleasant things. There were certain friendships and relationships that, you know, had to be pruned, or some of them just broke down.
Sadly.
Yeah, there's certain things you wouldn't hope to hear from certain people, or certain behaviors, you know, that
you would not expect from a friend.
From a friend. And
I think we like on both sides, he equally had friends who, as much as I did also, we both had friends that were so much a part of our lives, or a part of the picture, and they just responded very adversely. They responded in a way we did not like understand or appreciate or expect from a friend. And I think that's the first thing we quickly learned. Like, as you progress in your marriage, there's certain friendships that you're going to have or might have had in the past that just won't make it through all the seasons of your life. Like, some will just fall short. Like, some people, as much as they're happy for you, they want you to do well, or to get married. Like, okay, I want you to get married, but then after me. Or like, I want you to get married, but they're not like this. Or like, they just have a certain, not to this person. Yeah. Or and like that's it complicates things.
It does.
So I think if you're if you're about to get married and you're thinking, oh my gosh, the friendship's going to change, they obviously will change. Your
there will be some that
get stronger,
and you sail through and you even create new friendships.
Yes, I think that's the beautiful thing. Like,
so the other thing that we found to be very useful was we went for pre-Cana.
Premarital counseling for those who are not Catholic. Yeah.
So that also the couple we joined with, they became a very close couple friend of ours.
I think we did that for 10 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had 10 weeks straight.
10 weeks.
We met them twice a week for 10 weeks.
Yeah.
So we had about 16 to 20 sessions, I think.
Yeah.
It was just amazing. So
I would highly recommend everyone who's planning to get married, to take up premarital counseling. Yeah, because it really does help you, iron out expectations and learn certain things about your spouse or partner. There's certain things you never know about your person until certain conversations in certain spaces happen. I remember one of the key things I'd probably like to share is they asked us to write expectations.
That's the one thing I was going to mention as well.
Like, what are your expectations
for your marriage,
from
and
your
from
partner,
your partner?
And after we wrote them, they asked us to exchange them and say, keep these and make sure you always know and refer to these things
as the expectation. Like, you always need to know what your partner expects of you and of your marriage. And I think just looking at things, it's not always that we actually sit down with a couple that's older than us or with a couple that has probably gone ahead of us in this whole marriage journey to actually learn from their experiences. And I think it definitely does help. Like, in as much as having friends your age is very important, I feel like cross-generational friendships are very much important.
Useful.
They're very useful because you get to learn things. Like, you get to learn loopholes to avoid that you could have perhaps fallen into if you hadn't actually had conversations with people who've gone before you.
I think I'll just chime in there quickly. There's one thing that I've seen come up a lot in a lot of conversations with my guy friends or other male colleagues and acquaintances. People ask you, oh, you're doing so well these days. Are the exes, reaching out, like you're doing so well, probably by now exes are missing you,
Yeah.
And the more you have those conversations with people, you actually realize, oh, there are people who actually are still in that space where they entertain people from their past.
Yes.
So quickly, that's something I learned, that the same transparency with which we had when we dated and we got engaged, the way we drew those clear lines and boundaries with people in our past, that's something that's very, very important in marriage. And it came up, there was actually a whole conversation.
Yeah, so we did premarital counseling.
About, can a man and a woman be friends?
Platonic friends.
Yeah.
And in as much as it is possible, we did get the recommendation that it makes no sense to just be friends with a man or a woman or person of the opposite sex for just being friends today. Like, what's your friendship about?
Yeah.
And like, what's so special about your friendship that your husband or your wife, your spouse basically, cannot be incorporated into that friendship?
Yeah. So also that was, I think, the biggest lesson. Like, if we can't actually be friends with this person, then
because when you get married, it ceases to be I, and everything really just becomes we. Not
to say that
you lose yourself. Yourself. But then a lot of things, especially like on the social scene, those things become we. And so I remember one time just after we got married, we had a podcast, we put out a podcast episode, and one person actually called you to talk about, oh, were you talking about me? And like, I'm thinking, why do you feel the need to like call someone's husband and ask them if they're talking about you? Like, do you think you're that special? One. And two, to be honest, nobody cares about you.
Yeah.
And I remember you having to like after express discomfort and everything.
Yeah.
I remember you having to actually like call her and tell her like, no, like, this is where we draw the line.
Yeah.
And I think I really did appreciate that, because I feel like a lot of times as women, or even, I don't know, men probably speak up better, but I think as women, we tend to shy away because we don't want to seem like, oh my gosh, this lady, she's so clingy and stuff like that. And at the end of the day, to be honest, it's really not much about how your partner will perceive you. It's about putting your feelings out there, because if something is not spoken,
that's room for resentment.
Exactly. Like, if something remains in your heart, then it's going to fester. And I feel like on a social stage, you don't want that. You don't want people. I feel like also like if you're married or if you're about to be married, why are you still in communication with your ex? Like, yeah, like why you? Because you know that's the thing. You'd imagine that people learn that okay, this person is married now. Let me leave them. People actually don't care. I think that's the one thing I learned really quickly.
Yeah.
People don't care. You're married. Okay, you're married. Like that's you. I'm not married. I'm not married. You know.
Yeah.
So you will still have people from your past coming to insert themselves into your life, even when they clearly know that you're married. And I think what complicates things is like other married people even come to you now. They want to start dating you because now you're married, you're more attractive. And I think that's like a big that's like a big point for the guys, especially like as a guy, if you're not able to actually put boundaries in place and draw the line,
it becomes very, very problematic.
Exactly. Thank you.
So yeah, part of the changes that come with, you know, being married is physically moving out of spaces, you know. We're talking of these emotional and mental spaces. We had to move out, had to go on a house hunt. We did share that journey with you guys, like
the videos up here or up there, not too sure.
So yeah, we went house hunting, and you know, it was quite an experience.
House hunting as a young married couple is very hard, especially if you have expectations and like a long endless list of things that you want.
Yeah.
It becomes really hard, and then like it seeps into like the whole finances thing.
So suddenly it's not just one person calling the shots. There's need for that transparency and that accountability. You know, there's no I'm going to spend $300 in this house and my wife is not in on it. Yeah. You know,
like financial infidelity is a thing. Financial infidelity, like hiding things financially from your partner, is actually an enabler for like certain behaviors that then lead to like actual infidelity. So if you find yourself in the habit of like not disclosing fully to your partner how much you spent and on what and where you spent it, you've got an issue.
Actually just declaring
like,
what you're earning,
exactly.
You know?
So it's not like, okay, my husband buys lollipop, he must come and tell me, oh, I bought a lollipop for 10 cents. No, that's not it. But like purchases, like large purchases and like financial decisions should not be taken by one person. Whether or not it's one person bringing in the income or two people bringing in the income, the money is yours. That's
another thing that I've had people say. I've had people say things like, you know, as a man, you need to have your own kind of money that you don't declare to your wife, you know.
And that's how cheating starts.
And I know, I have a friend who was saving up to buy a car and he wasn't even telling his wife, you know.
That's a big thing though.
So ultimately, that's one of the things we quickly learned, you know. But I think for us it wasn't too hard because I think I started trusting you with my finances when we were still dating. I allowed her to, you know, get like a full view. So even when we went through hard times, you know, or the not so rosy times, it was much easier for you to understand because you had a very clear view into what was going on. Different from the view where we as guys like to protect our egos and actually not really
not mention anything,
you know, like put you into the full picture of what's
everything that's going on.
So now that you're married, things now look a bit different from what it used to when you were dating. And now it starts to feel like it's a scam. You know, like, that get scammed was you trying to woo me or something. So it's very, very important to have, you know, that kind of transparency and financial fidelity. And I think, speaking of finances, you know, for us, we both work independently. We work for ourselves in a way. So there are certain struggles that we didn't go through that people who are in regular employment, for example, would go through. But
there's also other struggles that we've had to go through that a person in regular employment would not ever have to go through. For instance, because we're self-employed, that then means we don't have like a stable income. And I don't know if you know this, but like financial pressures really, really add a lot of pressure to a marriage. And I think just the instability, you know. If you're like in a regular job, you know, you're going to get like 300, 700, 2 million, 200 grand, I don't know, whatever you're getting. Like, even if you're getting 10,000 per month, you know you're going to get 10,000 per month. And when you're self-employed, it's not every day that you score big. And so that obviously means you have
and it's not all the time that you score on time as well.
You may score on time, but it's not every time that like people actually honor the agreements and the contracts that you've put in place to actually give you money on time. And that can be very frustrating. That can be very frustrating.
So that then translates all of that pressure onto the marriage. So it's very, very important that all of you are on board, you know?
You both, I think also when you're married, like your financial actions really go a long way. They have like grave consequences on your finances as a couple. So me just choosing to take like $300 out of our pockets and going to spend it at Amara's there, or like going to, I don't know, wherever I'm gonna go.
And I think the other thing also is, you know, you've got to have the decency, and you have to be humane to actually understand the other person's family, because finances and family come and bad.
They're like this, guys. Like, you can't talk about family without finances.
So there's this thing called black tax, and that's actually something we talked about in pre-K as well. There will come situations when you need to chip in. Yes, people actually do understand that you said your own life and all, but there are times when you need to chip in because of different circumstances. So it's important to have that balance, you know.
Because you can't always be chipping in. But you can't
on one side.
And
on the other side, you're complaining. You know? So there's that maturity that will grow, and that will be required of you, you know, as you grow into your marriage.
And I think also there's just needs to understand, like, financially, obviously your families won't be the same. At times, one family needs the money more than the other. So you need to chip in where it's needed the most at that time. Because there's always like economics, basically, like in this once had very limited resources to like finance those wants. So you need to be very careful. Like, it shouldn't be like a thing of, oh, every time we're sending money to this person's house, or every time we're sending. And
once that is thrown, there's a way it's gonna creep in and get out of the house, and it's not gonna be good.
You have your family, like, sensibly, your family expects you to be doing your own thing because you're young and married. Like, there's so many things that you need to do. But like, there's certain unsensible scenarios or like situations or circumstances where your families expect you to just always be sending the money, and then they expect you to not like inform your partner. That's not our situation. I'm just like, just came in, so maybe like the Holy Spirit is putting it here for you. See, like, someone who's listening to this or watching this, I don't know who you are, but maybe it's for you. Like, if your family expects you to take money out of your own home without informing your partner, there's a problem.
I think I remember someone saying they had the same problem where their partner would lend money to their siblings in confidence, and they actually had to discover, you know, clandestinely, that this is what was going on.
So and that's not okay.
That's not cool.
So like, I think there's need to draw the line, because I think boundaries are very important. Like, whether it's with friends or family, boundaries are very important, especially financially.
Otherwise things can go sideways really fast. I think the other thing was evolving into is this whole work-life balance, like supporting each other. You know, does it mean driving your partner to work? Does it mean showing up on the YouTube videos like I do? That's one thing we've learned to do, and I've actually started to work with you in my line of work.
I think we've both started working with each other. Like, I'm involved in his work and he's involved in my work.
There's need for that symbiotic relationship if you really can. If you can't, find ways to, you know, support each other, you know. Just be present, because I think part of the problems that also happen come from people not being able to, really fully empathize with the other person with regards to their career and their routine and all those things that we're going through. So it's also really, really important to get that right.
I think there's so many times for me where you have stepped in, like you see I'm doing something and I need to like complete it. Let's say I'm editing a video or something and I need to do it quickly and get over and done with. And like there's times that you've had like to cook supper for us. And thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
Like he's been so supportive, and I don't know if I'm doing an equally amazing job with like your stuff.
You are.
But like there's this need to like feel what your partner's feeling, like empathize with your partner. If you're going through something at work, just cut them some slack, understand what they're going through, and try and make things better.
Yeah.
And at times it might not be like giving them money or giving them like sitting down with them and doing what they have to do, like the test that they have to do, but it can simply be just even a cup of tea when they're working.
Yeah.
I think that's like
that's your
that's
thing.
that's my thing.
Your thing.
It can be like a cup of tea while your husband or your wife is working, and sandwiches are his thing. Like he makes amazing sandwiches, and like they
Hit
always
me up.
Don't you dare think of it. So like you need to find ways to support your partner. And it might not look the same for every single couple, but you need to find your balance as a couple to actually see how you can support each other in what you're going through. In as much as we might not admit it, work is such a big part of like our lives as adults. So if a person doesn't feel supported in what they're doing at work, it's very easy for them to find someone else who's way more willing to like support them. And you don't want to leave a door open for infidelity, things that can happen. Just take the easier no. You realize as a person in your workspace who's supporting you so much more than your spouse is. Just take a step back and like stop accepting all the support. Like this person, he comes to you, he wants to help you. If you can, even if you don't, even if you can't, like just say no thank you, I'm good, I'll handle it. And just take it from there. That's not something I've been through. Luckily for us, because we're like self-employed, it means we don't have to like be in a workspace with other people so long and like have people checking up on us at work and stuff like that, have work husbands or work wives. So we're like
You're my work wife though.
yeah, I am. We're like spared from all of that, but we have our own fair share of struggles.
Yeah.
And I think it's so easy for you to get support from the wrong people and then it turns into something else. So just be careful where you accept support from.
So speaking of things not to do, there's certain things that before you get married, you don't actually understand the sensitivity or what is it that you're doing wrong, And one thing I quickly learned, is to respect boundaries. There's so many rude things we've encountered, insensitive things we've had to, deal with. One thing I'll tell you straight off the bat, don't ever ask anyone when they're getting married or tell someone to get married, I just think it's one of the worst things to actually say to anyone. You might be saying it to a fan, but you actually have no clue what you're doing to that person. Don't ask people why you didn't get married to a specific person.
The faux pas thing, guys. Honestly, for me, the faux pas thing, basically, a faux pas is something not meant to do. It's something that is socially unacceptable. For instance, I call you, you don't hang up the phone. I hang up because I called you. For instance, you see me, after a long time, you realize, oh my gosh, she has gained weight. You don't just start saying, ha, wasimpa, ha, you're so big. You don't say things like that. It's rude.
It is.
And like, I think the thing that... Hey, what's the middle? No. That is socially unacceptable. It is rude. And like, I remember when you posted about our engagement, there were people asking you, really, you got married, you got engaged to this girl, where so and so. Who do you think you are? Like, I'm not answerable to you. 1 and 2. Where do you get the nerve to ask somebody where another person is. Like, you seriously disrespect people so much that you're going to ask them about a person you clearly see is not in the picture any longer. And then you're just forcing them in there.
It's people who I was acquaintances with, for example.
And some close friends.
You know? And then they reach out to you and say, oh, I heard you got married, congrats, thanks. Then they go and say, but bro, is this that girl that...
It doesn't matter. Like, what does it matter? What is it going to change? So basically, guys, if you're not married or if you're not engaged or if you've never bumped into married people and you're about to start bumping into married people, engaged people, don't ask them, where is so and so that you know? If they did not get married, do you want them to kill themselves for them to make your expectations come to reality? Yeah. No, like, don't ask that. Don't ask people, when are you having kids? I have a podcast on this completely. I think soon we'll just touch up on this because D-lap, guys, I'm just done. Like, I'm just tired.
Yeah, when she speaks in Dereli, then you know.
I'm tired, guys. I'm really tired of people asking like stupid questions. You see me, I've gained weight, and you start asking suddenly. The only thing that's come to your head is, am I pregnant? Why are you not thinking, husband is feeding her well, this is good. You see me skinny, married, you're showing your pepper. Nothing, you see, like, what do you want?
I think while we're also there's this whole thing of entitlement.
Yeah, being entitled to information.
There's a certain group of people who will be like, you know? And honestly, the fact that you don't know, it should say something to you.
If you don't know, you're not meant to know. Because if you were meant to know, you would know.
You know?
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with not knowing. There's nothing wrong with figuring it out on social media or finding out about it on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
You know? It's still perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And it's just good for you to accept that this is where things are. You know? There's no need for you to force it or try to interrogate people and make it... I remember that was one of the strangest things about going back home, you know? Meeting so many people at church, you'd find all kinds of reactions. Most of them were happy. But there were a bunch of people who felt...
Why did you tell me?
There was this one specific lady, you know, who went on and on and on, and I hope she gets to watch this.
She even refused to say congratulations because she felt she was too...
She was meant to know.
She felt like she was meant to know. She's meant to be informed.
That's not even where things are.
So I was thinking, looking at my mind like, baby, is this like your relative? Like, this one wish you, because
you see,
I don't know. I missed you.
So that's entitlement, you know, asking people, or you see people who've done a court wedding. So when is the actual church wedding?
Yeah, like,
you see people who've done a
guys.
When is gonna be the big wedding, you know?
Like, I don't understand. Like, also, stop asking people when they get married. Like, stop asking single people when they're going to get married. Because do you honestly think you want it more than they want it for themselves? Yeah. Like, you can't possibly want something better than I want for myself. You understand? So stop asking people when they get married. Stop asking people when they're having kids. It does not concern you. Why would another couple's bedroom issues concern you? When did it concern you? Okay, like, make it make sense. You know, during the week, just during this past week, I had like, I said something on Insta. I posted a picture some months ago, and after I posted my picture, someone asked me, "You look pregnant, are you pregnant?" I'm thinking, girl, how dare you? So I deleted her. But I thought I had to address it again because it has started again. It has started. Someone even had the nerve to say, I hope it's not what I'm thinking. You think I care about what you're thinking? Honestly, you think I wake up in the morning, I'm like, hey, let me care about what this person is thinking. Like, I don't care. To be honest, whether you sit down there and you think, hey, married, just ring your fire. Yeah, this one, I want more to. I don't care. I don't live to like. I think that's the thing with content creation. People then, like, just because I come here and like share parts of my life with you and you interact with me and stuff like that does not mean we should not respect boundaries. In the same way, I would never come to you and like cross certain lines. I really would appreciate also if people don't cross those certain lines with me. Yeah. Like, if I saw you in public, unless I could see, you're heavily pregnant, I would not say, congratulations. What if I'm suffering from bulimia? And you're there, like, congratulations me for a baby that I don't even have. Or like, what if, like, I just lost a baby and my body is still readjusting to looking like it did before I lost the baby? Yeah. You know, like, there's so many things.
There's so many things.
just respect people's boundaries, guys. And that's the one thing we've learned continuously.
Yeah.
People like to
Yeah,
cross
people
boundaries.
like to cross boundaries, you know. But well, I'm sure the busy is out there now.
Yeah.
The last thing I think we'll talk about is the evolution of our relationship. You know,
This got longer than we expected it to be.
Yeah. There's that idea that, you know, you start off as boyfriend and girlfriend, and you become fiance and you get married, you know. Then we have age or change because you're currently going for lessons, then you finally get married, you know, and you're still a young couple and you know Baba Nama, and you know there's those transitions, but between amongst all of those transitions there's the relationship between the two of us. And I think we have evolved in so many ways, you know, be it addressing conflict, differences, disagreements, you know.
And I think one thing that just gives me so much like peace is we don't actually argue. We disagree, but we don't fight.
Yeah.
We have arguments, we have disagreements, but then we don't have so much contention that we end up fighting each other.
Yeah.
And like it took me so long to actually accept like my marriage is healthy. Like this is exactly what it, because like you begin to like think maybe things are going too well, and you actually forget things are meant to be healthy. You are meant to be in a healthy marriage. Yeah. You're meant to be with a person who addresses conflict and disagrees and argues a point without making it about you, or making it seem like you're the problem, or making it seem like you're the cause, or making it seem like they're blaming you, or because it's not healthy.
It's not.
You're meant to disagree, and I think we have our fair share of disagreements.
Yeah.
We don't throw hands though. We don't end up fighting and throwing things around and shouting at each other and screaming on like.
Yeah. And
we
not
don't.
talking for days.
Yeah.
Because I think I remember there was a lady who said to me, "You guys, you literally spend all the time together. You get tired of each other."
I'm thinking.
You know, and she's like, "Me and my husband, we can't stand each other."
And I'm thinking, why would you feel proud to say something like that, especially to a young couple?
Yeah.
It's not very encouraging, you know.
Yeah, it's
like,
not.
It's not.
So yeah, it's one of those things I've come to appreciate, and you know, about us that we've, you know, evolved in certain ways and adapted.
And don't normalize unhealthy habits.
Dysfunctional stuff.
Don't thank you. Do not normalize dysfunction.
Yeah.
Do not normalize dysfunctional traits and habits. If you notice in your dating relationship, because to be honest, it doesn't change much.
It doesn't.
Like how you are as a dating couple is exactly how it will be as a married couple.
It's just so
You've got
if
more,
you have
the stakes are higher.
resentment, you know, that resentment is gonna go up.
Yeah, it's not just gonna
know?
change because now you've got a ring and
Yeah.
like you wore this beautiful dress and suddenly like your families know about it. No,
And your belief system don't suddenly change because
they
you're
don't.
married, you know?
So if you have a partner and you notice, like if you're not married, if you have a partner you're dating and you realize this person has certain
violent tendencies, for example.
yeah,
Don't think it's gonna
don't think it's
because
gonna
you get
end
married.
because you got married. Don't excuse things like manipulation or gaslighting, or like they gaslight you into thinking that the points that you raise are not valid enough. Don't take that lightly, because those things actually continue into marriage.
Yeah.
And like I'm so glad like the things that I liked about you are still like here. I just love it. You know,
Thank you.
like you don't want to marry someone hoping they change.
Yeah.
You want to marry someone hoping they stay the same.
Same.
So if you see your abusive man right now, he's abusing you and he's spraying you with fire. You think
manipulating you.
you think
It's
suddenly
not
like when you get
gonna
married it's gonna be rosy and no. Sorry, it doesn't work like that.
I think one of the biggest lesson is learning to compromise. You know, it's not your way or the highway all the time.
Yeah.
You know, I watch Scandal now.
Yeah.
I would never watch a South African soapy like on my own. Never, you know.
I you know what? At times I watch stuff that he likes to watch.
I mean, she
I'm not
likes
like
Helen Coben now.
yeah, like at times I'm not like fully paying attention, but I'm just there like watching, because it can't always be like about me and things I like
and
all the time.
I also know a bunch of YouTube creators from
Exactly.
Nigeria. You know, so yeah, and from South Africa too. You know. So yeah.
Why did you just say creators? Why are you saying gang and you? Why are you mentioning countries?
Because that's where they're from.
Oh gosh, my gosh.
Anyway,
he watches vlogs now, guys. He even helps create vlogs. So that's how much your feet are cold, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, are you cold?
Nope.
Okay.
Just cold feet.
Literally. So guys, I hope this just had so many things.
Yeah.
This video just had so many things. I don't know.
Well, it's the soft reboot of the podcast, so hopefully we'll be dropping a couple of episodes and
picking up
just
diving
into one thing.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
And I just hope you pick something. Hopefully.
Yeah. So I just want to say thank you to you guys who just come through
and so supportive, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I think I've also noticed so much respect from you guys, because if someone has something they want to air, I've seen you guys drop me some DMs and not just put that stuff in the comment section, and I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Or if someone has an assumption and they just want to clear it up, I've seen DMs. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, you guys, for just cheering, just cheering us on, cheering me on, supporting me, telling me that you just appreciate me showing up. There was no video this week, to be honest, but he just
you guys owe me one.
He just said to just show up and to just think about the people who are there, saying, oh my gosh, we like the consistency and stuff. So thank you so much, you guys. I honestly think we should do something in real life, in person, sometime soon. I think that would be really nice.
Yeah.
That would be. I don't know what that would look like, but I think that would be really exciting. Just something.
In case you like my look,
you
can't teach my baba. It's my personal baba.
I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to insert a few clips of what actually happened.
No, we're not doing that.
If you watch till this part, come on, I'm sure you deserve something.
No.
I'm going to show you guys something.
Can't be at my expense, bro. Can't be at my expense.
Hey guys, I hope you get to watch it. Thank you so much, you guys, for tuning in.